I ain't take the tag off this shit. Fuck, they ask me why, cause bitch, I paid a bag for this shit. I'm that type of nigga, get a rap check, go buy a brick. I'm the type of nigga, catch you hating, I'ma slide your bitch. You with this shit, you ain't. Take what side you with. Fast still coming in, all kind of shit. Foreign car drop, pull up all kind of whips. Trap nigga fashion, put on all kind of drip. Had to do gymnastics, nigga, I'ma make it flip. All these blue honey, so me got them thinking I'm a crib. Long live nip. All I know is hustle. Nigga, real street nigga. Got this shit up off and hustle. All the jury on. I ain't got no time to tussle. Looking like a breed jumping out that motherfucker. Hey, what's going on? What's happening? What's going down? Oh man, Hood Money, another episode here with your guy, your man, the half hour, Benny Boone, here back at you one more time, one more again this week on a good Thursday afternoon, you know what I'm saying? Last week, wow, wow, I mean, all you can say about that is that's all you can say. Um, last couple weeks, that's all you can say. The big issue right there is a lot of things, but let me get into my throwback gear, you know, because everybody else want to wear their throwback. This is throwback gear for this century, not last century. You know, we got other throwbacks, but you know, my team got a big W last week. I don't know about everybody else's team. Um, it's a lot of underdogs won last week. A lot of underdogs. What it looked like when you look at the standings now, when you really try to look at it, and I was looking at it, and I was just getting it, it's like them look like preseason standings. I mean, that's all you can say. That's all you can say. I mean, they didn't play in the preseason. They you know didn't even play a whole game, or they already got rid of one whole game, and then you don't want to play in the preseason, and then you come out, you know, and that's basically how the season's going. I mean, if you, I'm just looking at it like I'm looking at it. I don't think none of them teams is good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think none of them Jags, the Colts, none of them teams gonna be around at the end. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in none of them. And so, you know, it's with that in mind, you know, we get to week six. You know, week six. Uh, like I said last week, it was nine underdog covers. It was only 14 games. It was nine underdog covers. That will never happen again this season. I mean, it was madness. It was madness. If you had bet on the 4 o'clock games, it was only one favorite from 4 o'clock to Monday night. It was only one favorite that won is 5 out of 6 games. I mean, it's 5 out of 6 games. Underdogs won in those slots. But you know, the Lions won it. But besides that, it was rough. It was rough. I mean, you're never gonna see it again. Never gonna see it again. You're never gonna see 8 underdogs win in a 14 game slate, and 6 of those teams on the road. You're just not gonna see it. So, you know, with that in mind, we're gonna get to the recap board because you know, short memory out there. As you see, short memory out there in the pros just for us to put it together. You know, from the big house to the outhouse, you know what I'm saying? It's how it be, you know what I'm saying? That's why they call it gambling and not winning, baby. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. As you can see, we had to put black checks because it was too many black X's. You know, didn't get too many wins. The Colts won, the Lions covered the spread, and Tampa Bay on the plus money. It was one of the plus money teams I took. All the other ones didn't work out. I mean, on the over under, same thing. Yeah, man from the street got me again. With 500 scored again, 2 out of 2, which we need 4 out of 4, but you know, it's still another gimme. Here we go again. Once again, another week. We was right there close. If Jalen Hurts would have actually tush push instead of faking the tush push, you know, we would have covered that in the time touchdown prop this week. But that's how it goes in the pros. Sometimes you get them, you know, sometimes they get you. What can I say? I mean, that's what it is. That's what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we don't change it up. We don't change it up. We're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing we did last week. You know what I'm saying? We're picking the best teams to come out on top at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? And so, with that said, with that said, there it is. Everybody's pleasures. It's the big board for week 6 of this season here. It's just looking like a mediocre season, but I promise you, teams that's supposed to get hot will get hot unless their quarterback is gone for a substantial time. And then they will be looking at the draft next year. which, by the way, is going to be a very weak quarterback draft. One of the weakest quarterback drafts you'll ever see. All right, here we go. Here we go. We got the night. We starting on the night. We got the Eagles on the road playing the Giants. The Eagles, one of those teams took a loss. They was one of two teams coming into last week that was still undefeated. At the end of 5 weeks, there's no undefeated teams. And actually, there's one team that hasn't got a win. So there's one team with a 0, but it's going in the wrong direction. We'll get to that team next. But for now, we got they're going to play a division opponent. They looked good last week. Looked like they was gonna win the game against the Broncos. Next thing you know, looks like they ran out of gas. Like I said, didn't get the practice in, they get the reps in, didn't get the playing time in they were supposed to get in the preseason. When everybody was healthy. Don't know why it wasn't out there, but as you can see, he's seen several fourth quarter collapses. He's seen fourth quarter collapses. He's seen special teams mishaps. Had it all. Had it all. Broncos ended up coming back, winning the game. Giants, same thing, same thing, same scenario, different team. They was playing a team whose quarterback hadn't won in the NFL in 10 tries and went out there, took a big lead, and let the Saints slowly creep up back in and take the lead and keep the lead. And so out of those two teams, one of them had to get a win this week. They got the Eagles -7.5. Looks good to me. Of course, Brown keeps talking about giving the ball. He is a receiver. He does. Jalen Hurts needs to throw that ball. He needs to definitely put that thing in the air more than when they're down. That's the only time he seems to throw the ball. He needs to do better. He needs to do better. Jackson Dodds this first loss in his second game. He'll be looking to rebound from that. Look pretty good. He'll be getting his running back Tracy back this week, and Neighbors is still gone for the year, so he's going to have to tough it out for the rest of the season. It's going to be a tough road. I see the Eagles winning this game. So I'd take the Eagles on the spread. I'd take the Eagles on the money line. Go out there and get it done on Thursday night. All right, I got the next game is going to be in London, and it's featuring the Broncos and the Jets. That team that was on 6, and the Broncos who are trying to stay in that AFC Westley division race and stay atop that division. Both teams. One team looked good last week, like I said, the Broncos, and the Jets not so much, absorbing another loss. They're 5th on the year. Fields hasn't looked good as a starter. He looked a lot better in Pittsburgh. Maybe it's the organization or the system. Not sure. He's not finding Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall's looked decent, but not great. They're looking to get that win overseas. Both of these teams are going in the opposite directions. I'm looking for the Broncos to go over there and pull out a win, not only on the spread, but on the money line. All right, our next game features the Cardinals and the Colts. One of the teams that covered for us last week versus one that didn't. Another team that was late in that late windows or the loss, the Cardinals to the Tennessee Titans, giving the Titans their first win of the year. Colts continue to run over the league right now. They look like they're legit, but they do play in the AFC South. So it's just a matter of thinking about the Lions from last year, but in a weaker division. It's only a matter of time for them. But for right now, for the Gambles, it looks good. People talking about the just all they needed was a quarterback, and it looks like Daniel Jones is their quarterback for right now. Especially, like I said, hopefully this year and next year if that works out for him, but we'll see because he has the weapons. But can he get it done in the clutch when it counts? We'll see. Kyler Murray, like I said, Arizona starts off hot and then starts to fade. Usually ends up in the cellar of that division. It's like they're headed there right now, trying to get a win after 2 wins and 3 straight losses. I see possibly another loss. They're going on the road. The Colts are doing everything on the offense. The number one in several categories. I would take the Colts at home with that spread and both on the spread and the money line. Next one will be the Chargers and Dolphins. Chargers 2 straight losses. Dolphins coming off a loss at the Panthers, one of those teams that had the lead and let the team come back and get them after going up 17-0. That the hapless Panthers come back and get a win against them. Dolphins seem to be headed nowhere fast. The Chargers look to be one of the hottest teams in the league early. Now it looks like a middle of the pack team after it's over 2 straight losses, which aren't going to really hurt their final standings because they're both to the East and the NFC East, and it's those losses don't count as much as the divisional losses and conference losses, but still took two losses. The loss before the one against the Skins was one of these matchups going from the West Coast to the East Coast at a 1 o'clock game. They showed they're not good at that. Even playing at home last week, they like went up 10-0 and disappeared. Let the Commanders score 27 straight points for the Commanders to secure that win. Chargers look to rebound. I think they'll rebound. I think they'll go on the road. Yeah, I got them going on the road. I got them taking care of business. I got them staying there with the Chiefs and the Broncos in that three-headed race for the first in the AFC West. All right, the next matchup will be the Patriots and the Saints. Patriots looking good so far. We got a big win last week. Saints also got a big win last week. Like I said, Rattler got in there on the W column for once in his career. Didn't look particularly impressive to me. Patriots definitely look impressive. May is continuing to excel as a quarterback, hitting his reads and getting that ball out fast to his receivers. Could probably use a upgrade in a couple of players, but Diggs is the good. Is the receiver out there? He stayed healthy so far, and that's helped him a lot with that running game. The Saints have Taysom Hill back in the fold. He was intricate in that comeback last week. They still, they still have Kamara and they still have Rattler at the quarterback. With, the receivers they got, they might be able to pull off something at home. I don't see it. I see the Patriots continuing to roll. Patriots continuing to impress people, especially after that big loss against that big win against Buffalo. I don't see a letdown this week. I see them continue to try to challenge in that East for once instead of giving the Bills that free reign. All right, next matchup would be AFC North matchup. Figured to be one of the toughest divisions in the league. Looks like it's going to be one of the divisions with the least wins. Right now, also, this AFC South has the most wins in the AFC, which is amazing. Third in the NFL. But first in the AFC, Steelers, Browns in the basement with Cincinnati. Changing quarterbacks, they got rid of Flacco to actually traded within the division to the Bengals and into the state, so he ain't had to go too far. You know what I'm saying? Went right to Cincinnati, laced him up, and he will play. He will play this week. Steelers are back off the bye. They look to keep those winning ways going with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how much more we're gonna get out of them, but that's why they play 17 games so we can see. Looks like they'll have that D back out there. They'll DK Metcalf looks set and ready to go. And running game Jalen Warren. Yeah, hopefully he'll go this week. Not gonna do nothing with him because of that late scratch last week. We'll see. But I definitely see the Steelers winning at home. Dylan Gabriel looked decent, even though that they couldn't get it done. The running game looked looked okay for the Browns. Browns still have a lot of work to do. Still have a lot of key players to acquire before they really challenge anybody. And it looks like the Steelers will take this division. They could possibly take this division at 9-8, even though I see them more 8-9, but possibly could still get that division. But we'll see how many wins they will get in these coming weeks after the bye. But definitely, I'd take the Steelers at home on the spread and on the money line. Cowboys and Panthers is our next game. Cowboys got a big win last week. Panthers got a big win last week. Both of them looking to build on an impressive showing. One without their star receiver. The other one's whose star receiver came on last week. Xavier Legette has been had a slow start, but really came on last week, along with everybody else putting that comeback win together for the Panthers. The Cowboys looked like it would be close in the beginning with the Jets, but as the second quarter got into the second quarter, the game started never to be in doubt. Cowboys ran away with it, trying to get back they're trying to get back to 500, trying to get above 500, trying to challenge for possibly a wild card spot. We'll see. Still have several divisional games to play. This is a good spot for the Cowboys to get another win, especially after the way they dropped those games to those previous games before they got that win to the Jets, especially that Bears game. They would say that they're not a great road team, but it is Bryce Young, and he's going for his 3-game win streak, which is ironic. He's going for his first 3-game win streak. We're trying to avoid our first 3-game losing streak, so that's going to be interesting. And it's for that reason I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say that's a sign. I'm gonna take the Cowboys on the road. Take the Cowboys. I take them on the money line. I probably wouldn't mess with that spread unless I teased it down a point. But yeah, because they could possibly win by 1 or 2, possibly 3 points or something like that. You know how the Cowboys do. Might be something tricky in there. All right. Leads us to our next matchup will be the Seahawks versus the Jaguars. Uh, looks to be a big matchup this week. This is a matchup I didn't really take specifically because it's a big matchup, and for gambling purposes, I just wanted to watch this one and another big matchup that's coming up later on in the board. Seahawks look decent in the loss. Jaguars look decent in the win. Something I've never seen before. The 6'6" dude fall on the ground not once but twice and get up and actually still be able to run forward and score a touchdown. It was truly horrible. It was truly horrible defense. It was a lot of horrible plays last week, which is what led to a lot of upsets. The Seahawks played a tough game against Tampa Bay, back and forth game, and then Tampa Bay took it. There was nothing to be ashamed of. Tampa Bay is one of the hotter teams in the league. I see the Seahawks winning this game. I like the Seahawks to come in there and to give Jaguars that second loss. Jaguars and Colts at the top of the South at 4-1. I just don't see that holding up. I see them taking that loss and Seattle getting back on to their winning ways and securing at least a wild card spot. All right, our next matchup will be the Rams Ravens. I know Ravens got blown out by Houston last week. Rams also absorbed the loss. Rams now with 2 losses. Still look good. Still staying in games, staying competitive. A couple of key bad plays, you know what I'm saying, and playing a division opponent on a short week. Sometimes that happens. They happen to lose. It was the biggest point at the time. It was the biggest point spread that the underdog covered at 8.5. Um, the Ravens still without Lamar Jackson, they weren't winning with him, and they definitely aren't winning without him. They're losing by a lot more without him, and of course, it's not just him, but the defensive pieces that they have lost, which is leading to the Ravens stumbling. It's only 1 win so far. I wouldn't have seen that coming. The Ravens and the Titans will have the same amount of wins. Looks like they'll have the same 1 win at the end of this week. I don't see the Rams giving them any breaks here. I see the Rams going on the road to Baltimore and looking to take care of business as they try to stay competitive with the Niners in that West Division. Um, all right, our next matchup will be the Titans and the Raiders. Like I said, Titans got their first win last week. Raiders also picked up a W last week. It was 2 interesting games. Titans had to come back. The Raiders, you know, they're trying their best to do something out there these days. Oh well, they actually um yeah, yeah, that's their second one. So the second win. So we got 1 win versus 2 wins. We got the Titans on the road. We got the Raiders favorite. I, I mean, I like Cam Ward. Cam Ward threw a fit in the locker room the week before, got his team fired up. They definitely played hard. They usually do play hard. The Raiders are back and forth, but Geno Smith is super frustrated and angry. The rookies are trying their best, but it's just not all coming together there. I actually see the Titans. I like the Titans to cover that spread. I like the Titans to cover that spread. I wouldn't take the Raiders at this time until they, get everything together. Possibly get back the injured tight end that they got injured in the Commanders game, and they should be a better team. The next matchup would be the Bengals and the Packers. Bengals and the Packers. Bengals absorbed their third straight loss, fall below 500. Packers were on a bye, looking to keep it rolling out there with the team they have and the defense having a week to come together a little bit better. The biggest spread of the week. I was going to leave this game alone because I don't usually take spreads like this, which is why I didn't take this game. I can see the Bengals hanging in. The teams don't play to cover the spread. It does nothing. The W is a W, but definitely the Packers will win this game. There will be no upsets, even though Joe Flacco is playing it for the second time, this time with a different team. Possibly better pieces, definitely better receiving group, but I don't see it happening 2 times in a row. They'll be ready for them this week. The Packers get that W. I That'd be the game I would bet on. But I would take the Packers. I actually probably take the Bengals. I'd take the Bengals for the points just because it's more than 2 touchdowns. All right, our next matchup is a big matchup. Is the Niners and the Buccaneers. Both of these teams are rolling. Baker Mayfield's in the conversation for MVP. The Niners, the walking wounded, but somehow they keep winning with the walking wounded, with the people they got. They still got a lot of people out, but Christian McCaffrey is in, and he's all in to keep trying to win and keep pace with the Rams in the NFC West. It's going to be an interesting matchup. It's going to be in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored, and they should be. They're still missing Mike Evans, but the rookie Buchan, Emeka Buchan is looking real good. Also, Goodwin is back. Bucky Irvin is a little banged up, but Rashad White has resumed his position in the backfield, and he doesn't look bad. In the short term, he won't be a bad option. In the long term, it could get tricky. I do see the Buccaneers pulling off this win and Baker continue to stun and impress. I mean, he has looked like one of the better quarterbacks in the league this year. Hopefully, we'll go further in the playoffs. Hopefully, we won't run into a team like the Commanders and possibly we'll get further. Which leads us to our next set of teams, which is a game the other big game I didn't bet on, which was the Lions and the Chiefs. Lions are favored at Chiefs are favored at home. Last time the Chiefs and the Lions played was on opening night a few years back. Chiefs were favored, heavier favorites than this, and took that loss as Hutchinson and them put a lot of pressure on Mahomes, and the Lions came away with that win en route to becoming one of the better teams in the NFC. It was like a statement game for them. The Chiefs took care of business. Were about to take care of business last week if it wasn't for a couple of late game blunders and clock management issues. Like I said, it was a lot of issues last week. And like I said, you should never allow a guy that big in a pro environment to fall. Not once, but twice, and still run forward. Don't know how that happened. Uh, they definitely should have won that game, but they didn't. And the Lions took care of business against the Bengals. They did what they were supposed to do, covering that double-digit spread. I look for the Lions to get them again. I don't see anything changing. Hutchinson is back, and he's fresh out there. And the rest of the D is still pretty much out there, except for Arnold. And I think that is a plus. I was just saying that was their weakest link, and he happens. I don't wish injury upon anybody, but like I said, he is their weakest link. So hopefully they'll find a better defensive back while he's injured. And I do see the Lions winning that game. I would take that if I was betting on it, which I'm not. All right, our night game will feature the Bills and the Falcons. Bills absorbed the loss last week. Falcons were on their bye, trying to keep things rolling, and we'll see because they're at home. They still have Kirk Cousins. Nobody's come calling for them yet. It's a lot of money to be sitting there on the bench, and of course they are going with Penix and Drake London and Kyle Pitts in that running game. Bijan Robinson and Algier, they look pretty nice as far as pieces are concerned. Just need Penix to step his game up a little bit. The Bills, same thing. Have a lot of new pieces. Keon Coleman stepping up. Dalton Kincaid this year stepping up. Same old James Cook, same old Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? And then Khalil Shakir also on the sliders look big for them. It's an interesting spread. I see the Bills being very angry that they absorbed that loss last week and taking it out on the Falcons. I see this being one of the not closer games of the week. There's a lot of close matchups this week. I see this one not being one of those. I would definitely take the Bills, both on the spread and the money line to get it done against the Falcons, which leads us to Monday night with the Bears and the Commanders. That's what I'm talking about. Monday night, this is how we do. We done did it against the Bears prime time a couple times now. Both is a couple last times, and resulting in W's for us. We did absorb one L, but the rest have been W's. A few close games, including last year's game with the Hail Mary, and it's the same thing as when you fumble the ball before you go over the end zone. There's no excuse to celebrate before the game, so that it makes no sense. If it was up to me, you would be fined a game check and have to donate that to charity, and I guarantee you that would stop people from doing stupid stuff like that because it takes points off the board and it messes the game for the gamble. I mean, it is the gamble, but still, I mean, if you're gonna do the play. Don't do the play and start celebrating just because there's no chance that you'll be stopped. You still have to finish the play. I did not like any of what happened in in those games last week. Hopefully these picks will be better. The only bright spot was Jaden Daniels came through once again without the starting two receivers from last year and the starting two running backs from last year and delivered a W for the Skins to keep them over 500. Bears look strong again. Caleb Williams to a doomsday is looking pretty good. Like I said, they are a team with weapons. They just need the quarterback with the with the aptitude that's going to put them over the top. I'm not sure if Caleb Williams is that guy. So far, he's 0-1 versus Jaden Daniels. It's interesting that the first three picks were all good in that draft that came out, and all of them look like playoff teams. I would take the Commanders in this one at home, wearing those black unis they're going to be wearing. I'd take them on the money line, and I would take the Bears on the spread as they usually play close games, which leads us to the parlay board. You know what I'm talking about? We got to get back. Hopefully, all these joints is going to end in a W, but we're going to see. Let's check it out. We got the Steelers in the spread. We got the Bears in the spread. We got the Colts in the money line. We got the Bills in the money line. We got the Patriots in the spread. We got the Broncos in the money line. We got the Cowboys in the money line. We got the Buccaneers in the spread. All right, so those are the first two parlays for parlay 3. We went with the Commanders with the money line. We went with the Eagles with the spread. We went with the Rams with the money line, and we went with the Titans with the spread. You know what I'm saying? And then for our last one, we went on ahead and locked it in with the Bills with the spread, the Colts on the money line, the Steelers on the money line, the Patriots on the money line, and we're gonna take a chance on the Chargers one more time. This might be the last time if they don't get this W. They lose to two teams with combined one win. It's gonna be tough to take the Chargers going forward. All right. And for our touchdowns, we have say we're gonna about two favors like we do. We're gonna try to get all four. We got Saquon Barkley there. We got James Cook. We got Bijan Robinson, and we got Josh Jacobs. And on the Henry side, we got Derrick Henry, we got Jonathan Taylor, we got Emeka Ibuka, and we threw Zach Ertz in there. We think Zach Ertz is gonna score a big touchdown on Monday night for the people. It's one of Dame's favorite targets. I can definitely see that happening. All right, there you go. There you go. Those are the picks. Log them in, put them in, send them in, ship them in. However you get them in, make sure they're in. You know what I'm saying? You got plenty of time to do that. This has been Benny Boom. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Comments was rough, but like I said, it looked like preseason to me. You know what I'm saying? Can't blame me for them not playing the games and then just starting week 5 and getting started. But they are getting started. So, definitely tune in because the wins is coming. We got some late season stuff. We got college football playoffs. We can still going to be betting on, definitely. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely keep tuning in. Definitely keep checking us out. And, yeah, like I said, had that good weekend for Fogwood Hood money. And, every time it's a chance you're going to get that money. So let's get that money.